Alright guys, so it's been 2 weeks and my bell peppers over here have grown pretty good. Not as good as the tomatoes, as you can see. The tomatoes are about 3 inches, the bell peppers are about inch and a half tall. You'll notice that some of these have some mold buildup. It's really nothing to worry about, but you want to make sure you're ventilating, because that's what causes that. It's not enough airflow. And sometimes you'll have too much water or over watering your plants. Right now it seems a little dry, so I'm going to water these still, but you don't want to over water. So I fill up this tray, both trays, with about a ½ inch of water, and the soil will soak up what it needs. And whatever's left over, you can just take all these out and dump it, or you can just leave it. What I've been doing is leaving it, and that's what probably caused all this mold buildup. But to prevent that from happening, you can not use as much water, and you can dump it out after you get done watering, or you can just let it go. I just let it go, and what I'm going to do is, to solve this problem, I'm going to ventilate. I'm going to open a window here in the bathroom. That's where I'm growing this at. And you still want to keep it around 80 degrees, between 70 or 80, but it's starting to get warmer, so I'll open up a window, and a lot of this mold, this white fuzz here in the soil, it'll disappear. But give it another 2 weeks or so. I've been growing it for 2 weeks now. The average temperature outside's been about 50 at night, 60 to 70 during the day. Once it gets average about 80 during the day and 60 at night, I'll start transplanting these outdoors and acclimating them to the weather out there. But you can go ahead and open a window and acclimate them inside, but you still want to do about 12 hours. We were doing 18 hours of daylight before. Now we're doing 12 hours. So I keep these lights on for about 12 hours. Again, water it every 3 to 4 days. But they should be doing all right. All my tomatoes, they did really well. And I have some flowers back here, but these are my tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, and these are my bell peppers. But it takes about 2 weeks, and you want to start ventilating, get them acclimated, get some of that mold out of there. But right now it's just a waiting game. 2 weeks from now we'll be able to transplant them outdoors, and the process continues. You can also use stuff like this. These are plastic jugs, reusable. This is all red leaf lettuce transplanted into recycled gallon jugs. These are gallon jugs cut in half, and I mean, they're growing good. I mean, they're growing just fine. And these are all gallon jugs I use: milk, tea, water. Gallon jugs from the store that I buy to drink with. I don't just throw them away. I use them to plant lettuce seeds in. Alright, when I was talking about reusing plastic to transplant or start your seeds, that's what I was talking about. So here's your jugs. This is Red Diamond Tea. I'm not sponsoring them in any way. I'm just sponsoring reusing plastic. So this was a gallon jug, and I cut it in half. This was a protein container. I cut it down. That'll be good for transplanting into like flowering stage. This would be good for mid stage or like salads or something like that. Here's a big one. These are the 5-gallon water jugs that you put on the water dispensers. They're perfect for pots, big pots like this. I mean, you don't need to go out and buy a pot. You just buy one of these, use it in your water dispenser if you have one, and then just cut it down, and it works perfect. This will last the whole stage of the plant, and it's a pretty good size for one plant. So I'll show you how to cut these down. Here's a gallon jug. So you just take a razor knife, box knife, box cutter, whatever you want to call it, and you'll start preferably below the handle. You just cut, make sure you stay somewhat level, and just cut all the way around. Make sure you wash your fingers. There you go. Now you want to make drain holes on the bottom of these. What I use is like a pick, something sharp, and you can poke them, or you can use a razor knife to poke holes in it. And because this plastic is versatile, you can, the harder plastic, like this jug here, you can use a drill and drill it into the bottom. I'll show you that. We'll do 7. But that's how you drill holes in the bottom of these. You can do the same with this. Just put it down on the table. Drill holes in there. These here with the lids, they already have enough. You just want enough, you know, to, these smaller ones that are real rigid like this, you just want to be careful. You preferably want to put it down, it's a lot safer. Like that, there's 2. That'll be enough for a seed start. Maybe 3. That'll be enough right there. And you can put these on the bottom of any kind of tray. This right here, this is a lid to this. This is a tray. This is a watering tray. So you can put that in there. Have about 2 or 3 different little bottles. And you got 3 seed starts. All with reused plastic. You don't have to go out and buy seed starting trays. You can just collect these, like I've done, and use them for seed starts. And these will be my so in the stages of your plant. Preferably want to start, you know, in a small bottle like this for your seed start. Put your seed starts in those. Then when you transplant it, acclimate it outside, you put it in that. Then when it reaches the flowering stage, you'll put it in this larger container. So 2 to 4 weeks after planting, acclimation about 6 to 8 weeks, and then you can put this whole thing, once all the roots go down the sides, you can put it in here. I'll show you an example. This here is red leaf lettuce. So I used a half gallon jug, and I seed started it in something reusable like this. I believe it was a Pedialyte bottle. I cut it in half, seed started in that, then I transplanted it over here. And this has pretty much outgrown itself. What you can do is, once it's outgrown enough, you can take it and it should come right out, and you'll transplant it in the bigger one. Just like so. You put your soil in here, and then you put this on top, and that right there will hold pretty good in that. We're going to keep it in here for now. Making a mess. But that's the point of gardening, right? You're going to make a mess. But like I said, there are just tons of ways you can reuse plastic to to prevent. You don't want to go out and buy stuff like this purposely, but it's just good to do. If you have plastic laying around that you're just going to throw away anyways, just go ahead and use it. If you're gardening at home, you can collect these over a year or two, and you'll have enough to start your own garden, and you're going to slash your costs in half, almost. And you can also make your own soil. I mean, there's tons of ways you can save money, but this is a very important way. Containers. You don't really want to put your stuff in the ground because bugs get to it. This is another way to keep pests away. You can spray soap. That's what I do. I spray soap. This is a plant-based soap. You can buy it at any Whole Foods store or nature store or anything, natural remedy store. I buy mine at Old Fashioned Foods. And I label it. I put it in a little sprayer, label it pest plant spray, and you can just spray the outside of this. You can spray the soil. It's not going to hurt the plant. Keep the pests away. That's the biggest thing in Arkansas is there's a lot of bugs and pests, and to keep those away, you put them in a container like this. Spray the outside of it with some natural soap. It's not going to hurt anything. And that's pretty much it. We're going to keep letting this lettuce grow and eat it. It's pretty good. It's just rained recently. But that's how you reuse plastic. Please like and subscribe. I'll keep you up to date on my bell peppers and my tomatoes. This lettuce is at the end of its season. It's raining a little bit too much, getting a little bit too hot. But I'll eat the rest of that, and I'll use these containers to plant my bell peppers in and tomatoes. Well, thank you for watching.